Hey, welcome everyone. So tonight we're gonna switch it up a little bit. Last couple videos we've been talking about some of the compact firearms, the concealed carry firearms that I typically carry. We did the Kimber Solo and the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield 9mm, which are two of my my favorite concealed carry firearms for obvious reasons, for size and for comfort of carry inside the waist. So we're switching that up a little bit tonight, and we're talking about this firearm that you see in front of you now, which is the Springfield XD9. The XD9, the Extreme Duty 9mm, that is imported to the U.S. By Springfield, the manufacturer of this firearm, the HS. HS Product is the company that makes this. The original firearm, the HS 2000, they started making that in Croatia, I think around 1999, and since then it's become the primary sidearm for Croatian military and I believe most Croatian police departments, the HS 2000. And then Springfield got the rights to distribute this pistol in the United States. I believe it was 2002 that they started selling this under the Springfield, the XD series name. So this was the first in the XD series, the XD9. And it was followed up over the years with the XDS and the XD45 and all of those, but this is the granddaddy of all of those. So some specs on this firearm. As you can see, it is a striker fire. Weight on this is 28 ounces. The length is 7.3 inches with a 4-inch barrel. It has a width of 1.18 inches and then a height of 5.5 inches. So this is a full-size a sidearm. Is a on-duty gun that was made for military, for police, some special forces, whatever it may be, as their primary sidearm when this was when they started making this over in Croatia. And even in the U.S. There are several police departments that do carry the Springfield XD9 as their sidearm. It does have the polymer frame. The steel is the slide is forged steel. Kind of, in going with that, get to where you can see it there. I don't know if you can really see that. It does have the 3-dot sight, the white dots, front white dot, rear sight, 2 white dots. They does come with an optional night sight. You can get those already on the pistol when you purchase it. This one has just the white dot sights on it. Weight on this, on the trigger pull. Trigger pull on this firearm is right around 6 pounds on this model. That does vary from firearm to firearm a little bit. This one is around 6 pounds. So Compared to some other things that I shoot, it's not as heavy. Some people do even prefer an even lighter trigger, and they do make trigger kits for this to where you can get that down to, if you like a 4-pound trigger, you can do that, 4.5, 5, whatever it may be. You can buy those trigger kits for that. I did put the Hogue grip sleeve on this pistol, just because, it just didn't feel as good as some of my other firearms in the hand. It's just kind of a personal preference for me on that. A lot of people do like it. It had nothing to do with recoil or the pins, the gun bouncing around in my hand or anything like that. It was just more of which is something that is very important to me, which was more of just the comfort of the feel in my hand. That's basically the only thing that I've done to this firearm since I've had it. Some of the features on this, you can see you do have the rail here on the front, so you can put any kind of little extra gadgets or doodads or anything that you may want to put on there. You've already got the rail there on the front of this firearm. There is no thumb safety, external thumb safety there, which I prefer a thumb safety on my firearms. But this one does have the grip safety, and you can see the trigger safety there. So when this firearm is hot, and if you're just hitting that trigger, you're not gonna get it's not gonna fire. That grip safety there on the back strap has to be engaged in order to get that pull. So you don't have the thumb safety, but you do have the added feature of that grip safety there. You can see the slide has the serrations on the front and on the rear, which is something that I do like. I do like to cock my firearms sometimes, from the front of the slide, just depending. I do like to have that. I do like that little extra feature there of this firearm. It is a double stack mag, 16 rounds. So you got 16 plus 1 on this one. It does come with 2. If you purchase this, brand new or from someone that's kept everything together. So you're getting plenty of rounds with this Springfield, which is, something that is very important to a lot of people. And, if it hits the fan, it's nice to have. I will say that when you are loading the magazines, these 16 round mags, I will say that when you get down to around 12 rounds into the mag, you do want to start giving it some taps, just to make sure that those bullets are seating well. I have had a couple of times that I've had failures to feed, and I don't think it was at the fault of the firearm. I think it was just an issue with the rounds not sitting in the magazine correctly. So yeah, just be sure when you get down to 13, 14, 15, 16th round in there, you just kind of give them a good little tap and make sure that those bullets are, you know, sitting in the magazine flush. You can ring them off pretty quickly and accurately with the XD9. You can get a really quick, clean follow-up shot. You know, the muzzle pretty much stays put. It stays down. There's not a lot of bouncing. There's not a lot of recoil, so you can really get some good quick follow-ups with the XD9. There are a couple of things about this Springfield that I don't like. The first of those things is I do like that you can see this, well, maybe you can see it. There's a indicator up here on the top that lets you know if you have a round in the chamber. You can see there that this is flush, that it's not raised at this point. Now, when you do put one in the chamber, you can kind of see that slight raise right there to let you know that the firearm is hot. Which I do like that. I do like that feature. The feature that I do not like is the cock indicator, which is this little button here in the back. There's just something about that it just seems like an eyesore to me. I don't like that being there. I don't know, it kind of makes it feel, you know, a little cheap or something. Just something about that, you know, and that might be a personal thing, but it's just something that I don't like myself. Another thing on the aesthetics of this pistol that kind of bugged me, and I've checked this and I've looked at, you know, images and looked at other people's XD9s, and I've seen it there as well, and it's this small gap. You can see this small gap on this guide rod. You know, I've checked it and I've messed around with it, and you know, I've looked at others and I've seen the same thing here. I don't really like that. It just, the looks of it, you know, it just bugs me. So, you know, aesthetically speaking, you know, basically, you know, it's like a lot of these polymer framed firearms nowadays. It looks a lot like a Glock, you know, which if you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. I don't have anything against Glock. I've owned, you know, a few. I've owned the Glock 19. I've owned the Glock 26s and the 27 and the 42 and all of those things. And you know, if you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. You can try to make yourself like them, but you know, if you don't, it is what it is. And you know, I respect Glock, but it's never been my first choice in firearms. You know, not if I can have a Sig Sauer or a Kimber or something like that. But you know, the XD it's a respectable firearm. I mean, you can find these things on sites like Arms List and places like that for, you know, under $400 now. And the XD series has done really well for itself. You know, the XD 45 was voted, you know, a top pistol a few years back now. The XD line has done really well. So I mean, it deserves some respect. And as a functioning tool, it's definitely reliable. It's going to fire. It's going to go bang when you pull the go lever there on it. So with that, it's a respectable firearm. It's gonna handle business. It's you know it's an accurate firearm. But there's a lot about the looks that I do like. Like I said, I like the the slide. I like that. I like the rail being on there. If you want to add things to it. But there are the things that I don't like. And it's mostly the just the little aesthetics, the caulking indicator and that guide rail sticking out a little too far. But other than that, I mean, if someone's looking for a firearm, a full-sized firearm that they can depend on, it fits the bill on that. They do make the red dot, the laser sight guide rods. I may think about putting one of those in there, or who knows, I may end up getting rid of it. I got it on a trade. I may get rid of it on a trade. Now, last thing that I'll leave you with on it is the breakdown of this firearm. You can disassemble this firearm really quickly. It's just a matter of locking back that slide and turning this 90 degrees, letting that slide go, pulling that trigger, and pulling the slide off, and it's disassembled. So ease of maintenance is another plus. So the XD9, I don't hate it. I'm not in love with it. I respect it for what it is and what it can do. That the final choice is up to you as the buyer. So it's definitely worth looking at. You may pick it up and fall in love with it. So and for the price, for what you can get these for, brand new, just maybe a little over $4. Get them used under $4. It's worth checking out. So Springfield XD9 Extreme Duty 9mm. Imported to the U.S. by Springfield from HS Product in Croatia. Another 9mm. So check it out, see what you think. Have a good one.